Good evening, everyone. How are you guys doing? I hope everyone is doing good. Sorry this took me a long time to make. I've been meaning to post this video, but my team and I have been going back and forth on trying to communicate how we can better assist that family that you guys just watched. Yes, honey. So the video you guys just watched is of a family that is based in Nigeria, West Africa. And the reason why I'm posting it because a subscriber gave me 100 US dollars to help someone in Africa with it. She goes by the name, I believe it's a she. She goes by the name Rare Intentions, and thank you so much again for doing that. So the $100 she gave me came up to be with the current exchange rate in Nigeria 160,000 naira. With that money, before I tell you guys what we've decided to do for the family, um, my team came across the family on their way to work in the morning. They were in a public tricycle, and while the public tricycle stopped so a passenger could get off, they saw the daughter on the side of the road just looking so down, and she was just standing there looking so depressed and crying. So my team decided to get off the public tricycle, which is like a motorbike. Um, it's not a motorbike, but I guess that's the best way I can explain it. They decided to get off of it and walk over to the daughter and asked her, "What's wrong with you? Why do you look so down? Why are you crying?" The young girl, and she said she was very hungry. She hasn't had anything to eat all day. None of the siblings have had anything to eat all day. And then my team then proceeded to ask, "Why haven't you had anything to eat?" She stated how they don't have enough food at home for your siblings. So I've always asked my team to try to get me like raw footage so people don't have time to try to talk to others. And people put things into your mind, and then the story becomes something completely different. So my team then proceeded to your house to see, okay, say, "Oh, can you take me to your home?" She took them to your home, and she took my team to where they lived. Okay, this is their home, but it's not a house. What you guys just watched is what used to be a shop. So this woman is a widow. Her husband died about roughly about a month, 2 months now, about a month and a half ago. And a month after her husband died, I guess due to stress, the cause of death was not stated. When before her husband passed away, they were struggling to begin with. He would go out and do his regular runs and hustle and do odd jobs and work at buildings and things of that nature. And whatever he could bring home, he brought home and was able to feed his family, and they could get by with just that. So I guess he got sick, and then he died. So when her husband passed away, um before he passed away, the place they were living at, the house they were renting, the owner of the home decided that he wanted to sell the property and gave them an eviction notice. And they didn't have any money saved up to get another place, so they were stranded. They had nowhere to go. In the meantime, the lady stated that she had a shop. Well, the video you guys just watched is of her in your shop, right? It was of the woman in the lady in her shop with her kids, or what used to be her shop, right? Or what is her shop, I should say. I don't even know the proper word to use right now. So that's what you guys just watched. So yeah, she was in her shop. They had a shop that they had rented. The husband had paid the rent, so when they sold the house just really quick, they had nowhere to go. So they asked them to move out. So they had to pack, and they couldn't afford a place. They decided to move into the shop to live there. Now, if you've seen that place, there are no rooms there. There's only one entranceway because it's just a shop, right? You're just supposed to cook outside. It has a kitchen outside of it. The shop is meant for you to fry like local akara, which is more like donut-ish snacks. and then the inside is meant for storage, or I guess if you wanted to sell, you could. It's just a shop for you to sell things, right? There's just a door and there's really no windows, right? So the door of the shop is supposed to be wide open. But so they packed in there, and once when they moved in there, behold, life happened. The husband passed away. So when the husband died, a month after her husband died, her first child had seizures. Right? They call it convulsion in Africa. Uh, the first child had seizures, and due to no money, hospitals in Africa is money before treatment. So the child ended up dying as a result of them not having money to take the child to the hospital. They took the child to the hospital, but no money for to pay for the treatment. So the child died because the hospital would not attend to the kid. So the child died. And the husband's family wants nothing to do with the lady and the children. They're struggling to begin with. But what she said, the family never liked her, and they don't care if they feed or don't feed. They don't care where they live. They don't care what happened to her or her children. And which is very normal in most African homes, right? I would say life in general, it's normal when things happen, you're on your own, right? No one sent you in most scenarios. So the woman and her kids, after the husband died, they've been struggling to feed. They had no money, and so what you guys saw her making is what they call apple, AKPU, right? You can look it up. Baby Theo is crying. Sorry. They call it apple, AKPU. Let me try to handle baby Theo. Brandon, can you please help me hold him for a little bit? Let me finish this. Sorry about that. Brandon's helping me with Theo. So what happened is that what you guys just saw is what they call apple. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but it's spelled AKPU. It's just in short terms fufu. It's more like fufu, right? I don't know if it's made of cassava or flour. I don't know what apple is made of. If there's any Nigerians in the house or anyone that knows, maybe you can tell me in the comment section. I don't know what it's made of. So that's what the lady is making. You might be asking where did she get the money to buy that if she doesn't have no money. So she has a customer that sells those apples, right? When it's not made already, it's raw. It's more like in the powder form, right? Or I don't know if it's made out of cassava, but when it's the fufu has not been made in a fufu format. So the lady sells them. So the widow that you guys just saw wrapping them in little balls and things like that was she went and got it from a woman on credit, right? The woman had PC on her because she's really good at pounding it, and that thing requires a lot of energy to pound it. You have to pound it with like a wooden spoon, not wooden spoon, wooden stick, right? So she went, she got half a bag from the lady on credit. The lady had mercy on her and said, I will give it to you on credit. You cook it when you're done cooking. Most often people will cook them like that. The locals will cook it and they will sell it to restaurants or sell it to the public. And then the public will take home. If you're too tired to make it, you can just buy the apple or aka fufu. You can buy the fufu that's been made already, and then you go home. You just have to worry about buying the soup, right, or making the soup, because that thing takes a lot of strength to make. But so that's what happened. She got it from there, and then as she was cooking it, you can see some of her kids were eating some, and from that, right, she's been able to feed her kids. Okay, from that just empty fufu with nothing, right? Her kids eat from that, and she goes, she sells it, and when she's done selling, she'll come and she'll give the lady back some of the money. Any little gain that she gets from that, she uses it to buy maybe gari, which is cassava flakes. If she has money to buy rice, which she said her gain has never been that much where she can buy rice, because she gets them from not she doesn't buy it in wholesale, right? Because the lady that gave it to her gave her like half a bag. If you buy it in wholesale, I'm sure you would generate more profit. But for the simple fact that it wasn't bought in wholesale, it was bought like it's like when you go to Costco's and you buy Costco buy guys at the corner stores who buy from Costco's, and then they would come and sell at the corner store. And then if you go to the corner store and you buy, you're not gonna make as much gain because those people have already added your gains on top of it, and you can only sell it for so much. But she said most often her kids would just eat from that. They'll eat breakfast when she pounds it. She gives them some and they'll just eat from that. So long story short, the rent of that place is supposed to expire this January. My team has been going all around trying to find housing. I am sorry to say, but I don't know whoever created such a system like this where you're not allowed to go look for a house. You can go look for a house, but you can't go and rent to the landlord directly, right? You have to go to an agent. And every time an agent takes you out to show you your property, you have to pay. Like you're paying the agent a fee to go show you a property, like an apartment. And then if you don't like the apartment or it's too expensive, it's not what you want, they have to take you to another property. You're paying them to take you to another property. So that's one of the obstacles we've been dealing with. I've been so pissed off. I've been so frustrated. Like, why? Why are we paying money? Why can't we just get the numbers to the landlord and go directly to the landlord? They're like, landlords will not talk to you. They will tell you, go meet an agent. I'm guessing it's some sort of a union. If there's any Nigerians out there, please help me understand why did they do such a thing? Because I feel like it's just so wrong. It's like extorting money from the already struggling public. Like people have to pay agent fees to go looking for houses. Right? I just feel like it's just so wrong. So my team has been around. We've looked at roughly about, I would say, 4 houses. The last one we looked at, the landlord said okay, he was gonna give it. We're trying to get something where the lady will pay the rent for 1 year. She will be able to keep up with the rent. Okay, we don't want to do something where we set her up for failure. We want to set her up to be able to succeed. We want her to be able to progress, right? We don't want to do something where, hey, we'll find her a place for 90K for the year, right? Every year her rent is 90K, knowing she has 4 kids to cater for, she has to feed, and the like. She has to pay the tuition. She's not going to be able to keep up with such a rent. So we decided that we wanted to look for something around the 45K range, and it's just been so challenging. God blessed us. We found one for about 35K. My team went to look at it after going, hold on, honey. After going around paying agent fees, when my team finally went to look at it, the landlord saw the lady and said, I will not rent to you because I paid your husband 10K to do a job and he never did it. And as his wife, you should have said something. And this woman was like, I don't know anything to do with my husband's dealings, right? Long story short, they pleaded and pleaded. He refused. They even offered to pay the 10K. He said he doesn't want the 10K. He wants nothing to do with them. He doesn't want them in your property at all. So that was it. And that was like our Hail Mary, like, hey, miracle is going to happen. Something she'll be able to afford moving forward, right? And it wasn't far from where she lived before. It's like the main roads where she can make her local business and be able to feed her family and get by, right? So they refused, and that was that. So that was gone. Then I was just like, now what happens? So the landlord to the shop where they're living came and said he no longer wants to convert the place into a shop. He wants to now turn it into an apartment because he has apartments in that same vicinity, right? There's apartments there. And he said this is the only shop, and people who have broken into that shop so many times, they've stolen mattresses from the woman, they've taken so many things away from her. So the landlord said he wants to change things around, and he wants to break one access wall. He wants to close that doorway. He wants to build a window, break the wall, make a window, and then make another doorway so that it leads to the main compound, which is the main apartments, right, where all the other apartments are located. So it now becomes an apartment and there's no shops. The downside is he wants 80K a year for it. You see me talking, don't you? Yes. Yes, you may. He wants 80K a year for the place. And we are like, for one room, 80K a year. And the landlord was like, yeah, because I have a lot of renovations to do, and I can turn it into one room, a bathroom, and so forth. I was just like, if we pay it, this woman is not going to be able to keep up with it. So I had my team call and ask the landlord if the 80K was going to be the rent moving forward every year, and he said no. The first year would be 80K, and then next year it'll be 60K moving forward. We asked the lady, like, would you be able to pay 60K every year? She said yes, she would be able to pay 60K if they pay it for this year. Next year, she knows she has to pay the rent. She has no one. She's going to hustle. She'll make sure she's able to pay for it. And we said, okay, no problem. Rather than going about paying 2K transportation back and forth for my team and the lady, trying to find, paying agent fees, trying to find another apartment and not end up finding anything, why don't we just pay this landlord to convert this shop into an apartment? So we agreed. We decided that's what we're going to do. My team called the landlord. The landlord accepted. You're going to meet Thursday morning, sort everything out, sign the contract. The money is going to be paid. Everything is going to be there, and he will convert it into an apartment for the family. So we've decided that we're going to pay the rent of 80K for this year. And we're also going to set up a business for the mom. And she wants to fry akara, which is more like little pastries. I guess I can call them donuts, but it's made out of we call it I know it as cocky beans in Africa, in Cameroon, but they call it akara beans. But in the US, akara is just spelled Ankara. In the US, it's more like black eyed peas. It's black eyed peas that is soaked, right? And then when you soak it in water, you peel the skin off of it. So that's what the lady is going to be selling. She's going to soak some black eyed peas in water. When the skin gets soft, she'll peel it off, and then the white part of the black eyed peas, she blends it. She'll season it with some seasoning spice, put some pepper in it, and then she'll scoop it up with little spoons, more like tablespoon sizes, and fry it in vegetable oil. And with that, you'll be able to sell it to the locals with bread. They can put it in bread and eat, or they can eat with some hot cereal, more like cream of wheat, oatmeal, but they call it pap in Africa, which is made out of cornmeal, and so forth. So that's the business she says she wants to do. This woman doesn't have a frying pan, so we have to buy everything from a frying pan. So we're gonna buy. She has a few pots, but no frying pan. So we decided we're going to get her the beans for the akara. We're going to buy her some frying pan. We'll buy her some oil, vegetable oil. We'll buy her some firewood, because that's what they use in frying it with. We'll buy her the utensils she needs. We're gonna buy her some plantains. She wants to fry plantains. We'll buy her some yam. We're gonna buy her some sweet potatoes as well. She says she wants to do those. And she also says she also wants to sell pure water, which is sachets of water in plastic bags. So we're gonna buy all those things for her. That's very disrespectful. Very disrespectful, Violet. Apologize, please.
Sorry.
Thank you. So we're going to buy her all those things and set up a business for her. And with that, we wish her well, and we pray that, everything works out for her. And I also asked my team to also buy her food items for the house, because they still don't have any food at home. They're still eating that apple from what she's selling. So I asked my team to get her some groceries for her house for like 40K. I added $50 to the money that the subscriber gave to be able to enable us to do all those things for her. We're going to get her pure water like we did with the other woman lady in the past. We'll get her delivery for about a week. They'll give her 10 bags of it, right? 10 bags of it, and each bag, I believe, from the last video, they said there's about 20 packages, 20 little packages in a bag. So we'll pay for the water to be delivered to her every day for about a week. So 10 bags each day for about a week. and then afterwards she'll be responsible for going to the supplier and paying for her own deliveries and so forth. After we get everything set up for her, my next goal now is to try to see, when I try to help people, I try to make sure that I really set them up to be okay. None of her kids are in school. All of them are home, all four of them. I want to make sure that they have accommodation, they have housing, they're fine. So when that's all taken care of, my next plan of mission is to see how I can get them registered for school, at least for this year. And then moving forward, hopefully God will give her grace, her business will succeed, her older kids will be able to also help her in doing the business, and then they'll be fine from there forward. But I also pray to check on them from time to time. God help me with memory so I don't forget. But yeah, so my team is now trying to pay for everything, and from there I will keep you guys updated. And also the school fees we were supposed to pay on the 6th, my team had to attend a meeting, so they were not able to show up at the school to pay it. They're going to take care of that tomorrow, and I will make a brief short and post it of the receipt. Thank you guys so much.